and welcome to Book Your Give Here. We're Travel That Gives. I'm Lulu Lima, your chief travel guru. I hope this episode of Dream Now, Travel Later inspires you to travel, and I invite you to give us the opportunity to help plan your next memorable trip. So grab your popcorn and enjoy.
Session of inspiration, Dream Now, Travel Later. I am super excited today to bring you one of my great colleagues. Her name is Carolyn Belcher. She is a representative from the Tourism Board of Germany. So today, that's what we're covering. We're covering everything Deutsch. So I'm super excited because I haven't been in Germany in a little bit. It's been since, July that I was there, and I'm totally missing it. I miss everything about it. So this was my great opportunity to kind of reminisce a little bit. So again, everything that we're going to show you are just ideas, focusing on, that off the beaten path concept, and obviously putting in some wellness and some gastronomy in there. So with that, I am going to give it to Carolyn to take it away.
Thank you so much, Lulu. I'm Carolyn Belcher, and I'm the West Coast Sales Manager of the German National Tourist Office. Actually wanted to put these in the, look at that. I got my flags. Woohoo! Can you see it? Yeah. And I got my flags here. I am so excited to be on here today. Thank you so much. I always love and enjoy talking about my home country, Germany, and just tell you a little bit more. And when we all can travel again, I hope that you're going to visit Germany, because it's definitely worth your time to fly over there, and you can explore so much. And we talk about it during my presentation.
Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to show the presentation, guys, and you all know the drill by now. And we're going to just kind of give you guys a little bit of a flavor of the amazing pieces of Germany and all of the moving pieces that go with it. Like, where is it, right?
Yeah. Where is it? And once you were there, how do you even get around? You get dropped off at the airport, and how we're doing this. And then what can you actually do in Germany once you're there? And then we have all these different regions in Germany that I want to show you. And I picked out some German cities and some castle and palaces that I want to show you. So if we want to move on with the slides.
Yeah, that's super awesome. So I love this map of Germany because it really gives you a great opportunity to see all of the moving pieces of how close everything is. And so with all the different areas, you can easily experience, whether it be in Berlin and then going into Dusseldorf, or even into Frankfurt, and then going down into Munich, and of course we can't forget Stuttgart, because we've got to have the Black Forest and everything else on our ways. So this, it's a really great opportunity to do something like a 10-day trip, and you can just cover just Germany, or we can actually do, if you want to do maybe a 14-day, we can do Germany with some of the other countries as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the beauty. We talked about it a little earlier before we went live. That's the beauty of being in Europe. You can get to all of these European countries by train. Like I show you here on this picture, this is our ICE train. It's our high-speed train. It is so fun to be on that train. It connects the major big cities of Germany, and then we have that connection now that goes from Berlin to Munich in under 4 hours, which is amazing. I always see it as, we Americans don't have that much time to travel often, so you can connect those two cities, major cities that couldn't be more different and diverse in just a few hours, which is absolutely amazing. So train transportation is awesome in Germany. We speak announcements on English. I think that's very important to know. I always say we Germans are very OCD, so we're very functional, we're very safe, we're very clean, and then we speak English. So that's great to know when you travel by train.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like when I was there in July, I flew into Frankfurt, and I was able to easily take the train in Frankfurt and get to Nuremberg, because I was headed on a river cruise, and easily just, it was within seconds of, getting on the train. I sat down and there's beautiful Wi-Fi on the trains. I mean, things that we do not have here in the States. German trains are amazing.
They are. I agree.
But you also have the great opportunity, which not all the European countries have, which is really to be able to drive in your country. And of course, the Autobahn, which everybody wants to experience at one point in their life, right?
Yes, absolutely. And, there's so many people who go to Germany because they are car fanatics. So why not renting a Porsche, BMW, Mercedes and drive on the Autobahn where almost everywhere is no speed limit? Just to make sure you need to know the rules. Like, we only pass on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. You will have like a Porsche in the back of your car and trying to move you over. But otherwise, it's a very safe place to drive. Like on the highways and the towns, it's really great to drive. We have over 1,300 rental car stations. You get it automatic as well. We have lots of stick shift, but of course we do have the automatic transmission as well. So don't be afraid to drive. It's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for you guys who are car fanatics and you really want to have that experience, this is totally doable. And we can also make sure that all the insurance is added. So you don't have to worry about, oh my God, what if? All of that will actually be taken care of with the itinerary when we plan it.
Yes.
And we were talking about, I mentioned earlier about the river cruise. And so here's an opportunity to travel by boat. So
yeah, and so we have, for example, there are many different companies, but like KD, Rhine River, for example, or, private people who offer their boat rides, but there's some hop on, hop off where you can go along the Rhine River and just, get off and see a city or see a town, visit it and go back on the boat and keep traveling. So this is really great. I love seeing Germany from the water side. I love it. So that's a good way to get around in Germany as well.
Yeah, and I have to tell you that the waters there are very, very calm. So if anybody has any fear of, oh my God, is it going to be like ocean cruising or anything along those lines? It is not. You feel like you're on the train, but it's very smooth, and yes, you have these beautiful views all across the Rhine. So it's just amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
And so, of course, there's flight because we have to get, we need lift from here to there. Yeah. So, and Lufthansa is a great line. There are others as well, but Lufthansa does fly, especially for those of us who are based in Austin. There are direct flights from Austin into Frankfurt. And also, those of you guys who are on my East Coast, you guys all have direct flights pretty much from all the major East Coast ports. So really great opportunities. And I do recommend business class because you can lay down. Because me being spoiled, but obviously we can always find you, an opportunity if you want to do, coach or if you want to do the premium economy. There are options.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we can do in Germany, because Germany has so many great landscapes. There's so much to do in terms of hiking. We can do a lot of wellness. We can do skiing. We can do so many different things. And of course, culture, right?
Oh, yeah. And, this is not a typo on that slide. We are a small country. Just to give you an idea, we are as big, Germany is as big as California, the state of California. So we're very small considered, to other big countries. And we have over 6,000 museums. And I always love to show this slide because, Lulu, I'm sure you have clients that have DNA that goes back to, German roots. So I know maybe you have those clients right now too. They say, Lulu, I want to go to Germany because I just found out I have German ancestors and I want to go back and see where they came from. I want to know where I'm coming from. So I always say, go to this place. It's by Bremen. And you can tell then your clients if they're interested to go to the German Immigration Museum. And this is where people left Germany to go to the United States. Yeah, they traveled through Europe if they came from other countries, going to that port and then left. And they work with ancestry.com together. So you will find your ancestors' information in there, why they left, how they left, when they left. It's a super interesting museum.
I'm so enthralled. Now I need to go. That is definitely going to be on my next trip.
Yeah.
So I'm already making myself a note. So, so definitely, because I'm all about the genealogy and, where, especially now with everything in terms of ancestry.com and 23andMe and all of that, where we can literally find and we're refined, and it's being refined every time more people do it, all of our ancestors and where everybody comes from. So this is awesome.
Yes.
So, and there's also a lot of theater and operas. So Germany's hasn't always been known for that, but this is certainly something that I think is very cool and classical when it comes to, the classical music piece of things.
Yes, and you know what? I think about what our operas are so known for, or why they're so impressive, is because they have so much history. I mean, our history goes so far back of Germany, and these buildings, of course, they have the Second World War history. They were bombed, they were burned down, they rebuilt. So just because of, if you're interested in history, not just music, but also history and architecture, that's the place to go to. If you don't want to see an opera, that's fine, but at least go in there and look at them. This one is in Bayreuth in Bavaria. It's mind-blowing, gorgeous, absolutely worth visiting.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely, enjoying the classical music in lots of different places throughout, it is awesome. But, here's something that kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't realize how much casinos you guys actually had to highlight. I thought that was just in Monaco.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I love putting that slide in my presentations because it throws everybody off. Look, we have a lot of casinos, but I'm telling you, they're not Las Vegas casinos, okay? They're not, you cannot go with flip-flops in there, so you have to dress
Monaco style.
Yeah, exactly. So suit and tie, and you need your passport as well to go in there. And we have some really beautiful, outstanding casinos. If they are in some of those, if your clients are in some of those cities, definitely go in. It's a great experience.
That's awesome. And the architecture there, just looking at those casinos, especially looking at them through the nighttime, even if you're just driving by or whatever, it's a great opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the porcelain classes that I took when I lived in Switzerland, and just obviously hopping over into Germany just for like a day or something. This is awesome.
Right, and it's neat. It's something you can do everywhere. So we have great porcelain in Germany. For example, the Meissen porcelain by Dresden, and your clients can take classes there. Which, I mean, where can you do this? And it's fun. Definitely a unique experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Zeppelin ride. We all love a Zeppelin.
And that's unique too. We still produce the Zeppelin down by Lake Constance and Friedrichshafen. It's a mouthful, I know. And your clients, you guys can book a tour there, which is super fun. Lake Constance is shared by Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. So you see these three countries from above, which is amazing.
Yeah, and this is like having your own version of like a droid, right? So because you're actually on it, and so you can take your own pictures and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about hiking when we first started. So here's some great landscapes of where you can go hiking, and hiking in Germany really does allow for social distancing. And a lot of things allow for that in Germany. So I feel like this is a great way to enjoy the outdoors no matter what the weather.
Absolutely. And I always wanted to point out, I know we do have a lot of mountains like in Bavaria, or we have the Black Forest Highland, but my parents, for example, they love going to the northern part of Germany by south of Hamburg, between Hamburg and Hanover, because it's all flat. So they take their bikes and they go hiking there because they don't want to climb those mountains anymore. And so this is good for older clients who are, or maybe they're disabled and they cannot climb mountains anymore. You can go to flatter areas in Germany as well and experience that outdoor amazingness.
That's awesome. And of course we have skiing, where we can do not only skiing within the country, but there's also opportunities where you are linked with with other countries as well.
Exactly. Yep.
So, so we can get you so if you want to have multi-country passes or things like that, those are options.
Yeah.
And of course, now we're looking at the castles and the palaces, and everybody wants, to be in their dream castle, and voila.
Yes, so this was actually, so I was born and raised, maybe I didn't even mention this, I was born and raised in Germany, and when I was a child, my parents had a puzzle. I don't remember how many puzzle pieces, but it was the Neuschwanstein Castle, and as a little girl, I always dreamt of being one day in that castle, and maybe even move in, and I actually had to move to America 2 years ago. I saw it for the first time, and I was so happy to be there. It is the most gorgeous castle. I mean, it's a little bit on a hill. You have a beautiful view, and Lulu, you probably have seen it too, right?
Yes, I have. It's been a long time, so I need to kind of go back and remember my youth, so to speak. But it is an amazing castle, and there's actually a Michelin star restaurant not far from there.
Yes.
Where we can actually make some reservations for you. You can even stay at the restaurant. Also has an inn where you can stay at, and which is just a short drive to the castle, and have that great culinary experience while you're there.
Yeah, and you can take a horse carriage ride up to the top of the mountain or the hill. You don't need to walk. There's also a bus shuttle, and it's really mind-blowing. I just loved it there. It's great.
Absolutely. So, and then of course we have Heidelberg Castle. This is, isn't
that so gorgeous?
Gorgeous is not even a word. And this is, and the sun just kind of gently hitting it on this picture just makes me remember of my days of just being there.
Yeah.
And it was an opportunity to really explore and again, not only have the history behind it, but just these castles make you feel really like you're in a fairy tale.
Yeah. And we have so many of them in Germany. It's really great. And Heidelberg is such a beautiful city. It has lots of students there. And I know a lot of American students actually, which I learned, are over there for like a half year or a semester to study in Heidelberg. Lots of young people know Heidelberg, which is very impressive. It's a gorgeous city.
So definitely, it is also a very happening town because of the students that are there. So, so cost-wise, if you're looking to keep something on a budget, Heidelberg definitely allows for that because it is student budget friendly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this one now.
Yeah, Wartburg Castle was one of the first castles I saw as a child in East Germany, and I remember we still were separated, East and West Germany, and we went there, and it's, oh my God, it is so big and so beautiful. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well, and is over 1,000 years old. I mean, this is incredible, and it's so preserved, and it's that medieval German fort that is like on top of that mountain and is hovering over the beautiful area. It is, I mean, I had also my first Thüringer Bratwurst there, the Thuringian Bratwurst, which is very delicious. I never forget that. And it's a very impressive castle. Definitely highly recommended, especially also for people who are interested in Luther. Traveling on the foot on the path of Luther.
Yeah, absolutely. So lots of moving pieces here. So so this is super great. And of course now we have Stuttgart's castle. And so here you see the vast land. It's really an opportunity to how many acres does this sit on? I can't even remember.
I don't know, but it's huge. And what I think it is so funny is just like so many other castles, this was just a summer residence. It's just like my hunting place. I was from Duke Karl Eugene of Württemberg and from 1763, and this was just this little summer house, which is stunning. Yeah.
And while you guys are here in Stuttgart, keep in mind that the Black Forest is not far. So and you also have Baden-Baden, again, not far away, where we can also do a number of different wellness opportunities. So, so while you're exploring, you can also, have and enjoy some of the hot springs and things like that. And within Germany, there are opportunities of the hot springs being clothed or clothing optional. So, just want to keep that in mind as well as we're planning, because we want to make sure that we cover not only all of these off the beaten path items, but also an opportunity for you to have that disconnect that we're going to need and recharge of our batteries after being in quarantine for so long.
Yeah.
So, and the Castle of Elks.
Oh, have you seen it?
Like I said, it's been many, many years.
Yeah, okay, but for me, I haven't. So now Neuschwanstein is not on my bucket list anymore. Now this one is on my bucket list. It is. So this is an 850-year-old castle, and it's still owned by the same family, the Eltz family, and they lived there in the 12th century. And it's just, I see this always on Instagram. It's like a total Instagrammable picture, and I so want to go. So if your clients are going, they need to tell me afterwards how it was.
Yes, absolutely. We most certainly will. So, and then of course, we've been talking about some of the castles, and now some of them live in these great cities. Berlin is obviously, amazing, and really gives you an opportunity to see, where the wall was and all of that.
Exactly. And I always consider Berlin, like every time I go to Berlin, there's something new. It's constantly changing. The city is so hip, so fast moving, but not in a stressful way, fast moving. It's just constantly developing something new. And it's a culinary mecca as well. Very good to know for people also who are vegan and vegetarians. We have the most vegetarian vegan restaurants there, vegan street festivals. So culinary-wise, it's a mecca. You can do culinary walking tours or bike tours. So you will have like a real Berlin person, like a Berliner, we say, guiding you through their home city and letting you taste food that you would have never found if you would be by yourself. So they're great food tours. Of course, it has the UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Museum Island. I mean, our government quarters there. You have Checkpoint Charlie. I mean, 4 full days there, and you still probably haven't seen everything. It's an impressive city.
Yeah, absolutely. Dresden has been is very classical, very medieval. Yeah. And so it's certainly lots of opportunity here for not only your history, but you also get music.
Yeah, and it has just the history of the Second World War. In the middle, the Frauenkirche was totally destroyed, rebuilt. Then you have the Semper Opera on the right-hand side. It's a very cultural, like you said, city in Germany and also in Europe, a very known city.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Hamburg is north.
Yes, Hamburg is north, and actually Hamburg has more, as you see, we're surrounded by water there, more bridges than Italy, if you believe it or not. But it's a great city. If anybody is interested in the Beatles, that's where everything began for them. They have played so many music concerts there, and they're great tours. The Christmas markets are outstanding because of all the water there. It's a really fun city to explore, and of course the fish is what you have to eat there. There's a fish market that is only open on Sunday, I think from 5 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. every Sunday, so it doesn't interfere with church. It goes back, oh my God, I don't know how far back it dates, but it's a very great market for your clients to explore.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love Hamburg, especially like you had mentioned during the Christmas markets, because it is it's a city like no other during Christmas.
Yes, I agree.
So, and Frankfurt is quite, it has its own flavor. So all of these cities have their own flavors, right? So it's really going to depend on the experience you want to have. But here in Frankfurt, you're really going to get that metropolitan feel because you do have that skyline. But you're also going to have a lot of areas where you're going to have that classical.
Yeah, and Frankfurt is also culinary-wise a great place. They have very different food to a lot of other states. The green sauce they have there. We drink beer everywhere. They drink beer too, but they have their Appleboy, which is like an apple cider drink they have. It's our Manhattan. There's a lot going on. Definitely also museums and bank quarters. So it's a very fun, good city. Very centrally, directly in the middle of Germany. So it's a good starting point.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what and when you land there, like I had mentioned earlier, the train is right there, so everything is just a couple hours away. So really great opportunities for you to go either north, south, east, west, in whatever direction. And so we can certainly cover a lot of land. Cologne and Dusseldorf. I have so many friends who are originally from Dusseldorf, and so I'm constantly, hearing about when I go home.
My brother lives in Düsseldorf, and my other side of the family lives in Cologne. So I'm there all the time when I go to Germany, and these are my favorite cities. Cologne, I always say, is the most welcoming city ever. They have so many great people. I say you never leave Cologne without just making at least one friend. They're so open there, and they keep drinking with you. And they have the cathedral on the right-hand side picture. You see the cathedral. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. On the left side, you have Düsseldorf. There's just so much to do, from architecture, from shopping, from the culinary aspect. You have the Rhine River there. You can go on the cruises. They're both tremendously amazing cities, very green as well. So lots of walking is there, lots of picnicking in the parks.
Yeah, and while these are some of the major cities, from all of these different locations, there are off the beaten path things that I can help create for you guys. So it's going to be knowing that experience that you want to have, whether it's historical, whether it's food, whether it's wellness, or what have you, and all of those moving pieces are just easily accessible via train or even buses or trams. And that's one of the things that I love about Europe in general, that the transportation is so easy.
Yeah.
That you don't, while we all want to rent a car, do things, which I'm all for in Germany, sometimes you rent a car just for the day or two, just so that you can have the experience, but you don't need it the entire time.
Agreed.
So, and here we go to Stuttgart, where, again, you're now back down to the area of the Black Forest, one of my favorite parts of Germany. Mm-hmm. And the Bavaria and the Black Forest area are just truly, I think, where my heart lives. But here, there's plenty of opportunity here, along with the wellness piece of things, because again, you're not that far from Baden-Baden, and we can do a lot of different pieces in terms of getting to the castles and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they have in Stuttgart. You can take a cooking class to make Maultaschen, the gigantic raviolis we have there. You can learn how to make the Black Forest cake. You have Christmas markets in their castles. Stuttgart is right surrounded by wine country, so you can take Segway tours through the wine country or hiking tours and do wine sampling. We have beautiful vineyards that are inviting you. So Stuttgart is. If you want to have a little city feeling, but you want to be very fast out in the open in nature, that's the place to go to.
Yes, absolutely. Agreed. München.
Yes.
This used to be my little escape. So, yeah. As you guys all remember, I lived in Switzerland, so I studied in Engelberg, and this was about 5 hours away from me, and this would be a place where I'd go and spend a weekend. And I absolutely love this city. There wasn't anything in München that I couldn't find. And really, I just felt like it was home.
Yeah.
I remember walking into the Puppet Museum. I still have the book of the Puppet Museum 25 years later.
Was that good? Yeah, it's a great city as well. And I did a very cool tour there. It was a walking culinary tour at the Victualian Market, which is their farmers market that has been there for, I think, centuries. And they're all family-owned booth. So you eat like the local cheese and the olives, and you can drink wine and beer. And it's just a very sociable, great place to be. In the middle, you see the Olympic Stadium. You can climb up on the roof of the Olympic Stadium and take a zip line down into the middle. English Garden, like on the right side, you can just drink beer, eat a pretzel, do people watching. You can watch people on the river surfing. I mean, there is everything, and it's the greatest starting point to go into southern Bavaria, where you will have one of the beaten path experience after the other.
Yes, you really will. And I agree. That's one of the reasons why I love Bavaria so much, because there's so many little nooks and crannies where all of a sudden you're just going to find yourself and you're going to go, oh my God, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And where have you been all my life is my other thing.
Move my things over. Moving in.
Exactly. So, but really there's so much to Germany than just what we just showed you. And so I know that the tourism board has a great hashtag, Discover Germany from Home, where that's kind of what, you can look that up. You can see a lot of their videos and things like that. And we can, obviously go to that next level. So, but I want to thank you so much, for taking the time now and basically, showing us all of these moving pieces of Germany and just, it's just awesome.
Yeah,
I miss it so much. So I hope you guys are enticed and are in that Wonderland feeling as much as I am, because again, y'all know how much I love to travel. So, cause I'm on the road about 9 to 10 months out of the year, but here's an opportunity where, I vet everything I sell. So, nice. Carolyn, I'm in your countries. Like I said, the last time I was there, it was July. So I really am in there as much as possible to really experience, so that when my clients and followers, ask questions or they have something that they want to plan, I can plan it knowing that it's firsthand.
That's great. That's the way to do it.
Yep, absolutely. So with that, I want to say vielen Dank.
Gerne.
I really appreciate you coming on and spending a half hour with us and guiding us through the beauty of Germany. So I look forward to to doing these maybe more a little in depth, picking out different cities here and there. So awesome. So with that, thank you again. I appreciate it. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I think, like you said, we can go into more depth and at a later point. I do hope that when you travel all again, that you're going to book with Lulu and enjoy this beautiful country. It's always a pleasure of mine to show everybody how amazing this country is. And I hope that if it's on your bucket list, that you definitely can go and scratch it up. And it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on. You're amazing. Very great energy. And I appreciate
as are you.
Stay safe, everybody.
Yes. Have a great day. Until the next time. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye.
Bye.